Hello, in this demonstration, I am going to explore color interaction using a printmaking brayer. This is a hard rubber brayer, and I'm going to directly explore color interaction. You can pick any colors you want. I'm going to use yellow ochre, light phthalo green, and a primary cyan blue. And I'm also going to be exploring mark making. So I'm going to do 3 different color studies here, and I'm going to use a red conte crayon to activate the surface with some marks that'll hopefully show through when I start rolling paint out here. Okay, so I'm going to roll out my first color, which is going to be the light phthalo green. And what I want to do is just lightly dip my brayer in that paint. And I'm going to roll one direction and then the other direction. I do not want any globby globs here. I want the paint to have kind of a uniform uh, look to it, uniform tacky marks. Okay. Then I'm going to roll. And as I roll, there's going to be some lighter areas and some darker areas. And if I work somewhat quickly, I can even scrape away some of that paint to reveal the marks below. Now I'm going to go to my yellow ochre. And I do not bother to clean my brayer. As I go, paints will mix, and that is fine. Okay, repeating the same rolling process. It's kind of in this little square patch here. So I'm going to get 3 bands, and they kind of look like tapestries to me. So I'm going to play off of that with my mark making. Here's my primary cyan. I can't scrape away that much yet, but in subsequent layers, I'll be able to do that. Okay, now I'm going to start intermixing these colors. So I've got a darker ground here, lighter here, mid-tone. And I'm just going to do small portions, not covering the whole thing. If I tap down directly with my brayer, I'll get thin bands, which is fun to play with. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my light phthalo green. So what you're going to see here is color interaction in real time. Okay, now I think the paint is getting thick enough. If I want to scratch through, I'm using a kind of a barbecue skewer here. This is called Sgrafitto. Using this sawtooth palette knife. So now I'm playing with not only color interaction, but mark making and layering. You can see how colors change as they overlap. Okay, now I'm going to come in. I'm going to go yellow ochre next. So even though it's the same colors in all three, they're a little bit different because of the initial color I put down, the ground. And then I can keep going with this, going over and over, making some colors stand out more, some recede more. And because I'm thinking of these as tapestries, I'm making these fine marks almost like these are threads. And I can go back to my original, I think this is a Conte pencil. You can use, I mean, you could use a lot of different things. Charcoal pencil, you could use acrylic marker. But just now getting into a flow with this mark making. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of other things. So what if I don't want all these straight lines? I've, out of a piece of file folder, I've cut a curved line and then a torn line. I'll just do a couple of these. So if I wanted more of a, oh wait, that didn't work. Okay, here we go. Okay, here, well, here we get more of a jagged line. I'm going to do more of a curved line here. So I can subtly change from straight to a little bit curved by making this mask, or you could even use stencils on here. That would be fine. Okay, another technique would be to actually squeeze paint directly on your brayer if you have some squeeze bottles of paint. I'm just going to put a few dots on here with this acrylic gouache. And then when I roll, I'm going to get these oval dots. And if I want to scratch into those a little bit or leave them as they are, I can. This is great with the Sawtooth palette knife because I get really thin lines going through. Okay, and then the final thing is if I wanted to add like just a little bit of a contrasting color, I could. So let's see what happens with the orange. And it might just be little bit or little impasto globs. And again, it's color interaction in real time. You either like it or you don't. I like it when it's a little bit maybe brushed out more. I can come in with some of the original paint and put thicker accent globs here and there. Just a little bit of dimensional paint can add a lot to the piece. Okay, and I think that is it with direct color interaction and mark making with a printmaking brayer.